Greetings, welcome to another day of Autoforge development. We're continuing to work on the hot reloading for our Lua scripts. And so yesterday I kind of figured out how we can do that with the instances of our teal records. So that way, whenever we change a script that has a record in it, and that will reflect all the change, or that change will be reflected in the instances of that record. And so a record's kind of like a class, but for teal, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should definitely check out yesterday's video where I go in depth in how this is all working, especially what I was just talking about. So today we were looking at how can we make this work with function callbacks. So if we store a function somewhere, how can we get that function to be updated to use the new version after the script has been reloaded? And so I came up with this core.bind function. And what that does is it's defined over here, right up over here. And what it does is it creates a little handle that we set as a callback function. We say that it has a callback function, which we then set as the meta function for the handle. So that way, whenever you try to call the handle, it will call this callback function. So it looks just like the function, but it binds the arguments that you pass to it. And it also supports binding itself if it's an instance of a record, which we, set here. And then the important thing is that we are storing the object that we're calling the function from inside of the handle. And the awesome thing about that is if it's an instance of a record, or I'll just say an instance, then that's already taken care for us by the reloading and then instantiate the stuff we did yesterday, because now we're not storing the function, we're storing the function name that we want to call and the object that we want to call. And so we have to index that function, which means that it will index the proper, underlying class that gets updated whenever we reload. There is a catch here that we had to kind of deal with whenever we're doing kind of a static function where it's not an instance. It's like the best example is here, where it's realm.get version rather than realm::get version. And so that's essentially like a static function. And so what we had to do with that was kind of just store it as a function handle for that object. So this is a realm. So we say, hey, you need to update the handle on this thing whenever the realm object gets reloaded. And that magically works. And so now we have it so that if we run it, we can see it's doing all this stuff like version 6 and 7. And if we go look at that, that was like testing the binding. So here we bind 5, and then we add, for version 1, we add 1 to it, and for version 2, we add 2 to it. So we see it's either 6 or 7. And so that gets properly bound and called and reloaded just as we had yesterday. So it's great. It works. I might make a more in-depth video on how this is all working in the future when I have it all done. Let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. There's one more piece that needs to tie this all together, which we'll be working on tomorrow. And so yeah, that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching.